familiar with this. It's tax levy on one side, state aid on the other. The red lines are what the funding formula calls for. The green lines are what has actually happened. So as Dr. Sampson mentioned in his opening comments, there's a change in the level, in the measure of the community's ability to pay that does not align with what the actual changes in those two wealth indicators are. And it's been different each year. It's very difficult to predict. And you can see in the tax levy graph, according to the state's calculation for funding the adequacy budget, they believe that the district's tax levy should be where the red line is. And where it's not, it's at the green line. And corresponding reduction in state aid on the other side. All right, so S2 serves to shift funding, existing funding, from districts that are measured like this to districts that have far less ability to pay, far less local fair share. And it does that over a 7-year period. Interestingly, not interestingly, but importantly, the whole S2 and the SFRA is independent of a separate law that limits an increase on the tax levy to 2%. So we could not comply with this even if we were inclined to raise taxes by $30 million, which I can say confidently that we are not. But the tax cap law prohibits districts from moving as S2 is designing districts to move. Consequently, we are not achieving an adequate amount of money to provide a thorough and efficient education. So we are, as Chuck said, we are below adequacy, right? Which is, our trend of adequacy is going down. Last year we were 1.5 million below adequacy. This year we're 4.8 million below adequacy. And that trend's going to continue. It's going to continue throughout the full implementation of S2, which has 3 years remaining. Next year, it's targeted at about the same level of reduction as this year, and then the 2 years following that, it goes down to maybe 4 million and then 2 million. But again, they're all compounding on each other. At the end of the day, our state aid will be approximately 20 million instead of $50 million. But that is really the core issue that has set us on the path that we find ourselves on today. Right, because as you all know, the mechanics of it might be interesting if you're interested in that kind of stuff, but conceptually, the less money you have coming in, the less money you'll have available to do other things, right? And so that manifests itself in a couple different ways, and I think it's worth our time to touch base on all of those things so that you understand the impact of that as it stands right now.